Between Blood and Shadows, the macabre tale of Vlad III. The Impaler. What happens when fear becomes a leader's most powerful tool? Over 5 centuries ago, one man turned that question into a horrifying spectacle that marked history. His name was Vlad III, but the world immortalized him as Vlad the Impaler. His cruelty was so extreme it inspired one of fiction's most terrifying figures, Dracula. Yet Vlad's reality was far darker than any legend. Who was this man, really? A hero willing to do anything to protect his land, or a monster who embraced cruelty as a way of life? What you're about to hear will make you question the limits of humanity. Vlad was born in 1431 in the fortified city of Sigashora in the region of Transylvania. His father, Vlad II Dracula, was a member of the Order of the Dragon, a Christian military brotherhood sworn to protect Europe from the Ottoman advance. But this lineage, which seemed like a privilege, was, in fact, a deadly burden. At the age of 12, Vlad was sent as a hostage to the Ottoman Empire, alongside his brother Radu. In this foreign land, far from home, Vlad witnessed atrocities that shaped his worldview. They say he was forced to watch executions and torture, and the Ottomans used fear to break his will. It was there he learned that love could be weak, but fear could be invincible. Years later, he returned to Wallachia, not as a broken child, but as a man who had understood the true nature of power. In 1448, Vlad claimed the throne of Wallachia, a region trapped between Ottoman invasions and the betrayals of local nobles. His reign was anything but ordinary. Vlad ruled with meticulous cruelty and a calculated vision of leadership. But what set him apart, what immortalized him, was his use of impalement. How terrifying was this punishment? Imagine a sharp, long wooden stake piercing a victim from the rectum or abdomen, emerging through the chest or mouth. The process was slow, agonizing, and designed so gravity did the work. Vlad didn't just use this method as punishment, he turned it into a message. Every stake, every agonized body, was a warning to those who dared defy him. If you've made it this far, thank you. This shows you're as fascinated by these stories as I am. Don't forget to like, subscribe, turn on notifications, and share this video. Your support helps more people discover these impactful historical figures and grow the channel. One of the most chilling tales of his cruelty happened after defeating an Ottoman army. Vlad ordered the impalement of over 20,000 men, women, and children, creating a forest of stakes around his fortress. Invaders approaching the scene fled in terror, unable to bear the magnitude of the horror. For Vlad, fear wasn't just a military tool, it was a macabre masterpiece, a spectacle designed to paralyze his enemies before they could lift their swords. Yet his cruelty wasn't limited to the battlefield. Within his own kingdom, Vlad imposed absolute order. It's said that in his main square, a golden cup was left for anyone to admire, but no one dared steal it. That was the level of control he had over his people. Corrupt nobles, dishonest merchants, and disobedient peasants all felt his wrath. To Vlad, ruling meant eliminating any threat, even if it meant eradicating corruption and crime through sheer terror. But his cruelty came at a cost. In 1462, his brother Radu, backed by the Ottomans, overthrew him. Vlad was imprisoned for years but never abandoned his desire to reclaim the throne. He spent every day plotting his return, obsessed with taking back what he believed was rightfully his. Finally, in 1476, he led one last attempt to regain power. They say that in his final battle, Vlad fought with the same ferocity that had defined his life. But victory was not on his side. His head was sent to Constantinople as a trophy, a symbol that even the most feared men could fall. But in death, Vlad became more than a man. He became a legend. The story of Vlad III transcends the facts. He was a leader who protected his land with a cruelty that still horrifies us today. He inspired the creation of Count Dracula, but his reality was far more terrifying than any fiction. He forces us to ask, was he a hero who used brutal means to defend his home, or a monster whose thirst for power led to unimaginable atrocities? Vlad the Impaler wasn't just a man, he was a reflection of the violent times he lived in. His story shows us what happens when power and morality vanish into the shadows. What do you think? Was he a monster, a hero, or both? Leave your thoughts in the comments. And if this story chilled you and made you reflect, subscribe to Obscure Mindscapes. So, here we explore the darkest minds and the most unsettling stories of the past. Every tale is a journey into the unknown. Dare to continue? See you in the next video.